I'm very pleased today to announce the details of my child and dependent care tax credit. You know, on average in Minnesota, child care costs $901 per month, or over $10,000 per year for just one child in a child care center. And those costs often force parents to make difficult choices between high payments for quality care or quitting their jobs to care for their children. According to a recent New York Times article, Minnesota is the third most expensive state in the nation for child care, based upon the cost of infant care as a share of median income. 15% of median family income goes to the care of child care for one infant. Under our current state law, the state credit begins to phase out for families with household incomes above $25,250. Families earning over $39,000 a year do not receive any credit. My proposal would provide a full credit to working families with incomes up to $100,000, phasing out at $112,000 for families with one child and $124,000 for families with two or more children. Under current law, only 38,000 Minnesota families are eligible to receive tax credits for child care. My proposal would expand eligibility for these credits to a total of 130,000 Minnesota families, making child care more affordable for 92,000 more Minnesota families. Maximum credit would be at $1,050 for a family with one member in child or dependent care, $2,100 for families with two or more members in care, and to provide further details is our Commissioner of Revenue, Cynthia Bowerly. Commissioner.
Thank you, Governor. Governor Dayton's proposal would expand the child care tax credit, which is existing, to avail to 92,000 new families. Those families, we know that child care costs in Minnesota are expensive, and this proposal helps relieve some of that burden so more parents can go to work. This credit is available to working families in Minnesota. Depending on income and the number of children in a family, the total annual state credit maximum would range from $600 to $2,100. This is an average increase of about $430 for each family. This proposal not only helps parents with children in daycare, but also helps families caring for parents who are aging or with a disability in their homes. We understand that the current credit is underutilized for these families because the existing income cap is $39,000 is very low. By raising the income cap and providing a larger credit in some cases, this proposal will provide middle-income families with another option for caring for their seniors. The best way to understand how important this credit is to Minnesota's families is to hear directly from those who are with us today. I'm first going to introduce Michelle and her beautiful boys, Xavier and Lyndon. Michelle is a physical therapist, and her husband Jake is a software engineer. When Michelle returns to work 2 days a week, they will spend $425 a week in childcare expenses. Under current law, the Stefan family would not be eligible for a tax credit. Under the proposal, the Stefans would receive a $1,200 tax credit each year. Michelle?
Thanks. It's an honor to be here, even during this guy's nap time.
Oh.
Yeah, we were really thrilled to find out about this because when it came to deciding when we had our second child if I was going to go back to work a few days or stay home, working basically wipes out completely anything that I would make working would go away immediately with putting both boys into daycare. So I have been home for about a year, but I really adore my profession. I love physical therapy. I love what I do, so I'm really excited to go back a few days a week, and this tax credit will really help make that possible. So I know my colleagues are happy about that. And that's about it. Thank you.
It's in your press package.
Thank you, Michelle and Xavier and Lyndon. Next, I'd like to introduce you to Tama Clark, her son Deontay, and Carlos. Tama is a stay-at-home mother to 5-year-old Deontay, and I have to tell you that I just met Deontay, and he tells me he's at the 4th grade reading level, so we have another scholar in our midst here. A few years ago, the high cost of childcare forced Tama to make a tough decision. She decided to leave her job and as an executive assistant so that she could stay home and care for Deontay. The proposal would provide a larger tax credit to a family like the Clarks and allow parents like Tama the financial security to get back into the workforce. Tama?
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Tama Clark. This is my fiance, Carlos Robinson, and this is our son, Deontay. As many of you know, childcare is extremely expensive, and the younger your child is, the more expensive childcare will be. And as children get older, before and after school programs can cost still just as much. I was working full time, but these high costs, I had to change my job, and I had to work less. So in working less, I paid less for childcare, which eventually caused me to have to be unemployed. With my son in childcare full time, over half of my income was going towards paying the child cost, which left us very little money to take care of any other family bills or other family expenses. I started getting my taxes done with Prepare and Prosper, which is a free tax service, and with their wonderful staff and volunteer, I found out that I actually was eligible for the child care and dependent care tax credit, and I actually had no idea that I could get that credit, and that it would help me actually pay future child care credit in the next year. I was really excited to find that out, that I was eligible to receive that tax credit. And so now that my son is in kindergarten, I'll be able to actually go back to work. The child care credit will help to offset the cost of before and after school child care for him. So I'm just really thankful for the wonderful and helpful staff at Prepare and Prosper for showing me that I was actually eligible for that tax credit. And I really do appreciate Governor Dayton's proposal for helping families get more from the tax credit and helping more families be able to receive that credit. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tama. And now we'll hear from Barb Michelson, who is the director of All God's Children Learning Center. The Learning Center is a nonprofit employing 28 professionally licensed staff and providing 68 children with all-day childcare and preschool. During the recession, Barb had many difficult conversations with parents who were providing for their families on one income and struggling to pay for childcare. The proposal will help many families in Barb's Learning Center and many more Minnesotans.
Thank you. All God's Children Learning Center is located in Golden Valley. We're an all-day, year-round early childhood facility. While our focus is on early education and kindergarten preparation for the currently 57 children that we have, as an all-day center, we are certainly also caring for our children while their parents are at work. The cost of early childhood education is definitely a factor in our parents' budgets. Tuition for a full-time 4-year-old is $13,000 per year, and for an infant, more than $16,000 per year at our center. And we are certainly not the most expensive center in the metro area. My estimation is that this proposed tax credit would positively impact at least 80 or 90% of the families that use our center. What is equally important is how the tax credit could impact families who are not with us. Most parents who inquire about enrollment at our center ask about the cost. Perhaps 1/3 of them decline enrollment based upon cost. They simply can't afford it. Those children may then end up being cared for by a patched-together collection of babysitters or perhaps brought to a facility without a strong educational component. The years leading up to kindergarten are critical to a child's learning and development. Every child deserves to experience a nurturing setting with ample opportunity to be inspired to develop cognitively and to have time to learn all there is to learn by simply playing with other children. We would love to be able to serve every family that desires to be a part of our center, and the tax credit would certainly help to make that possible.